The scream shattered the Sunday calm of Pinewood Hollow, a gated California suburb where sprinklers whispered and garage doors purred. It was a child's cry, raw and desperate, slicing through the cul-de-sac like a blade. At the end of Willow Crescent, a white SUV with no plates idled menacingly. Two men in black tactical vests marked HOA compliance had just ripped a 10-year-old girl from her bicycle. Her helmet skidded across the asphalt, her small legs thrashing as they dragged her toward the vehicle. Her father, a man carved from decades of war, exploded across the lawn, his voice a roar. "Let her go." The taller man, lean with wraparound sunglasses, raised a taser. "Back off, or you're done," he snapped, his cheap badge glinting. The second, stocky with a scruffy beard, shoved the girl into the SUV's back seat. Her fists pounded the tinted glass, her screams muffled. The father charged, but the taser's prongs hit his chest. Electricity seared through him, dropping him to his knees, then face first into the grass he'd mowed that morning. The SUV peeled away, her cries fading. Neighbors peeked through blinds, silent, frozen. This wasn't just a kidnapping. This was the day Pinewood Hollow's facade would crack, exposing a rot no one saw coming. Retired Colonel James Harlan, 52, had spent 30 years in the Army, from Fallujah's dust to Kandahar shadows. His silver buzz cut and sharp blue eyes missed nothing, even in this postcard-perfect suburb. Pinewood Hollow was his refuge, a place to give his daughter, Lily, the childhood his two broken marriages had denied her. That morning, she was a spark of joy, 10 years old, hazel-eyed, freckled, pedaling her green bike in the driveway. Her teal t-shirt read, "Math is magic," her ponytail bouncing as she hummed a pop song. "Stay close, kiddo," James called, watering the roses. "I know, Dad," Lily chimed, ringing her bike's bell. Then the SUV appeared. It crept past the cul-de-sac, a white Ford with no plates and windows like black mirrors. James's hand tightened on a hose. "No juastique." His pulse quickened, instincts honed in war zones flaring. He dropped the hose as the SUV stopped. Two men stepped out, moving with predatory ease. Their vests screamed, "HOA compliance officer," in shoddy white letters. The tall one carried a radio. The stocky one held a clipboard, smirking. "Problem?" James asked, his voice low, commanding. The tall one flashed a flimsy badge. "Zutinhua sweep." Unregistered recreational vehicle. "That's my daughter's bike," James said, stepping forward. "We'll verify residency," the stocky one said. "Your property?" James Gutsclean Dinja. These weren't HOA drones, their gear was wrong, their movements too sharp. He'd seen men like this, insurgents in stolen uniforms. Before he could act, the stocky one moved. He crossed the lawn in a blur, grabbed Lily, and yanked her off the bike. She hit the pavement, knees scraping, her scream piercing. "Dad!" James roared, charging. The tall one aimed the taser. "Back away!" Lily kicked, sobbing, as the stocky man tried to lift her. James froze, calculating. No guns on their hips, just tasers. Not cops. Thugs in costume. He raised his hands. "All right, don't hurt her. She's going to the HOA processing center," the stocky one barked. "You'll be notified." "What's the charge?" James demanded. "No recreational license. Violation 3.4b. "That's not real," James growled. "Let her go." They didn't. They shoved Lily into the SUV and slammed the door. James lunged. The taser fired. Pain knifed through him, his muscles locking as he collapsed, the world fading. His last thought was Lily's scream, swallowed by the SUV's roar. James woke to searing pain and the nervous voice of Mrs. Carter, a neighbor. "I called 911, she said, clutching her phone. "They said it's an HOA-issue jurisdiction." "Get my phone," James rasped, pushing himself up. His chest burned, but his mind was ice. Lily was gone. Every second mattered. Within an hour, he confirmed the truth. No HOA patrols, no records of these officers, no registered SUV. This was an abduction. The police filed a report promising traffic cam checks, but their tone was sluggish. James wasn't waiting. He opened his encrypted laptop, a relic from his army days, and called Marcus Reed, a former intelligence officer who owed him. Fake HOA cops took Lily. Tasered me. SV, no plats. I need eyes. On it, Marcus said. 30 minutes later, he sent traffic cam stills and a partial VIN from a gas station window. The SUV had stopped at an abandoned strip mall in Riverdale, 20 miles away. James grabbed his Glock, a knife, and a burner phone. He drove alone, parking a block from the mall, and MOVing on foot. The mall was a husk-boarded windows, weeds choking the lot. Behind a collapsed loading dock, he saw the SUV and two men in those vests. A faded sign read, CIVY, Sea Guard, HOA Compliance Center. James Chicken no registry, no charter. A front. He crouched behind a dumpster, watching. 4 men total, armed with tasers and cheap pistols. Through a cracked window, he saw Lily, hands zip-tied, on a mattress in a dark office. She was trembling but defiant, her jaw set. His heart clenched, but his mind stayed sharp. He overheard them. Kid gets picked up, Dad pays the fine, we walk. 15 grand, clean. Another voice. He's ex-military. Bad pick. He'll fold. James's lips curled. Wrong. He called Ethan Cole, an ex-Green Beret who'd fought beside him in Iraq. Ethan arrived in a black Suburban with a medic Tara. Rules? Ethan asked. Alive, James said. Scared. That night, they moved under darkness. Ethan cut the power, plunging them all into black. James breached the rear door with a lockpick silent. A guard reached for a radio. Ethan dropped him with a strike. James went straight for Lily. Dad. Her voice was small, eyes wide. I'm here. He cut her ties, lifted her, and handed her to Tara. You're safe. He wasn't done. They zip-tied the 4 men, kneeling them in the center. James sat Glock on his knee. Who do you work for? Silence. Ethan stepped forward. They talked. It was a statewide extortion ring, using fake HOA fronts to issue fines, threaten families, and stage abductions for compliance fees. They named their boss, Victor Crane, and drop-off sites. Worse, Pinewood Hollow's HOA board was complicit, taking kickbacks to sign off on fake violations. James memorized it all. By dawn, Lily was home, under a blanket with her stuffed panda. A police cruiser sat outside James's demand. But he wasn't stopping. Marcus sent more. Wire transfers linking the fakes to Paul Whitaker, an HOA board member, and audio of Whitaker saying, let CIVY, Sea Guard handle it. Keeps us clean. James built a case records, recordings, statements. He wanted the machine destroyed. A week later, he walked into the HOA's annual meeting in his army dress blues, ribbons gleaming. The clubhouse buzzed, phones out. Paul Whitaker, at the podium, paled as James took the mic. I'm Colonel James Harlan, retired. Last week, fake HOA officers kidnapped my daughter. This board knew and did nothing. Gasps. A man shouted, they find me for my fence. A woman cried, they harass my mom. James played the audio, Whitaker's voice damning. It's not our problem. The room exploded. Whitaker stammered, I didn't authorize a kidnapping. You enabled it, James said, handing a folder to county investigators in the back, looped in by Marcus. Whitaker and another board member were cuffed, the crowd jeering. Residents took over. Stories poured out fake fines, threats, inspections. A veteran saluted James. You saved us. That night, Lily watched the news with James. Colonel busts HOA scam, it read. She hugged him. My hero. Just a dad, he said, kissing her forehead. The trial was swift. Courtroom 12B overflowed with homeowners statewide, their stories echoing Pinewoods. Whitaker, Rogers, Scruffy, Malone, and Victor Crane faced kidnapping, extortion, and conspiracy charges. James took the stand, his blues crisp. This was organized crime, hiding behind bureaucracy, he told the jury. They targeted my daughter. She checks the windows at night, scared of badge men. They broke something in her. But we don't live in fear. Not here. Guilty on all counts. The judge, a mother, gave maximum sentences. "Your predators," she said. Whitaker wept. Malone cursed. Crane stared, broken. Pinewood Hollow rebuilt. The old HOA was dissolved, replaced by a transparent board of residents. No enforcers, every dollar tracked. Lily got a new bike blue, with a silver bell. A note read, "You're our hero." She wrote it down Willow Crescent. Wa vying, her laugh returning. James stood on his porch, the cul-de-sac safe. Ethan called. "Task Force for HOA Scams." "You in?" James watched Lily ring her bell. "Roses first. Then we go big." The news dubbed him the HOA Colonel. A book deal came. He declined. Peace was his prize. But if anyone threatened Lily again, he'd be ready, and he wouldn't stop at the cul-de-sac. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.